I don't know if this qualifies as robbing the grave, but like it's an old grave. So something very exciting happened on January 1st, 2024. A bunch of works, a whole bunch of works and a whole bunch of artists entered public domain. Now, why did I care about it this year? Because of Steamboat Willie. Steamboat Willie is a short film made by Disney in 1928. This is one of the first appearances of Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse as full-on Disney characters. And this is big news because Disney has successfully pushed back the date that this work would enter public domain decades in the past. But now it's no longer theirs. So you can reproduce it, you can remix it, you can resell it, all kinds of things without having to pay any royalties and without getting sued for it, which we love. Now, I'm not personally a big Disney person. I don't really care about Mickey of all characters, but it did get me thinking, what if we had a look through the whole list of new works that just entered public domain and see if we could find cool ideas that way. I don't know if this qualifies as robbing the grave, but like it's an old grave for most of these things anyway, so I mean, I guess legally it's okay, otherwise public domain laws wouldn't be a thing, so what do you say? Let's have a look. By the way, I tried to make a little set behind me. I have a little dragon, some books, don't mind this side, but I'm trying to make this place work a little better for me and look a little bit more cozy, so let me know if you like it. I actually need to put on my glasses because I am old now and I spend all my time looking at a screen. Anyway, so 2024 in public domain. I just went on Wikipedia. I think I'm gonna look up painter, otherwise it's gonna take so long to look through all these different people. Okay, Everett Shen. Let's have a look at Everett Shen. Shen started as a newspaper illustrator, demonstrating a rare ability for depicting animated movement, theatrical subjects, regarding the theater as a place of satisfying illusion. Ooh, that's a good sentence. The theater as a place of satisfying illusion. Ooh. He would express his dismay over the development of photography as the new art form that eventually replaced drawing as the principal source of visuals. Yeah, I think there's something interesting here in this person's life story because we already have a very strong conflict between what he's doing and the time period. So we can have a look at a bunch of his works here. It does look very much like pastels were used in a lot of these. Like the white here is so intense. Ooh, and look at that! Vanity Fair. Okay, let's have a look at this one. This is turning into a deep dive into Everett Shen. Apparently, The Fight, 1899, charcoal. Charcoal? How's that charcoal? Are there color charcoals? I thought charcoals were only like black and maybe brown. In the fight, a group of men stand on the side of the drawing, watching a fight outside a bar. Oh, we're not talking about this picture right here. This is very confusing. To be honest, like at the beginning of his bio, they're like, oh, he depicted disaster and violence, and I'm not interested in that. But the theater? Hello, sign me up. So let's have a look at a few of his pieces. It's an interesting composition because almost half of the frame is taken up by the audience area. Like you have some people watching the scene and then you can see the conductor, what you would expect to be the main subject, which is the dancers on stage, are a little bit camouflaged by the rest of the scene. So really it's a scene about the theater and about going to a live performance rather than the performance itself. So that's a very interesting point actually. The composition is very cool. And it's also feeling quite dynamic because you have this angle of the stage. Yeah, I like it, I like it. Let's look at the next one. It's so beautiful, it's very whimsical. I like how soft it feels. This is very dreamcore. Like you just get this sense of lightness and these two characters sort of elated by their magical evening. This makes me think of Midnight in Paris, that movie. Also of La La Land a little bit. Like it's got a bit of glamour to it. Beautiful color choice here. I'm gonna guess. I'm afraid of being wrong, but I'm pretty sure these are complementary colors. The darker blue and then the bright yellow. That feels right. That feels right. I like that it's a little bit, like it doesn't fully make sense, you know? Like you don't have a perspective, a context for how these two people are flying, but you're just kind of representing an emotion and a feeling. Very interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, again, mostly monochrome, but then this gorgeous pop of color here. to really highlight the woman, highlight the performer, and make her stand out from this otherwise really gorgeous, rich scene. And I love that he included, once again, one of the musicians, because if he hadn't been there, that would have been an entirely different vibe. Like, she would have felt isolated and it could have been a little sad, but now we know we're anchored in this story, we're anchored in the location. There is someone right there performing with her and looking towards her. What I'm getting from Everett is he knows how to compose a picture, man. On top of making really beautiful color choices and like, everything is textured but precise at the same time. Next, painting. Okay, well, this is just Degas, but American. I'm a little bit more confused as to where this is happening, because why are the musicians on the same stage as the dancers? I don't know. Back at the theater, ooh, this one is very different. This is cool because it's like we're looking at that painting from earlier, but from the back, from the perspective of the performer. And as someone who has performed on stage before, I used to be a dancer, it's just a really nice, familiar view for me. Like, you have the blinding lights and then you can barely see anyone in the audience. Some of the faces you see are a little bit spooky, like those ones on the right-hand corner there. Whoa, don't know what happened to them, but wow. As the performer, you don't see anything glamorous, you don't see anything cool because it's all behind you. So you're just looking at this big black hole, which actually that's quite deep. So anyway, I like this point of view. I think it's very interesting to see something from the performer's perspective for a change. It makes me wonder how she's feeling about how the show went that night. And is she curtsying and receiving applause at the end? Is she still sort of in the midst of everything? I don't know. This is a story told very simply when you look at it. Like, it's a big block of darkness and then a big block of light and then a silhouette. It's all very simple, actually. Right, so we have a few elements to work from, I think. I'm gonna need to do a little bit of brainstorming, then I'm gonna come up with something. And it's gonna be fun. To be honest with you, I was gonna go through a whole bunch of different artists on the Wikipedia page for the public domain thing, but I feel like we got it. You know, we got it. We could always revisit this if y'all like this format, and then we can look at other painters or other types of artists and see what we can steal from them. But in the meantime, I'm gonna steal shit from Everett Chin. Imagine you'd spent your life knowing something impossible, something no one else would believe. The embarrassing notion that magic is real. Now, when you were young, this was okay. You were allowed to believe it, to dream. But as the years went on, the indulgent smiles around you turned uncomfortable and tense. All of a sudden, you were expected to grow up, to be reasonable, to stop believing. So, you did. You became as serious as the world needed you to be. You buried yourself in the expectations of others, and you gave the performance of a lifetime. You played the part of a very normal person. Until tonight. You don't quite know why, but tonight feels different. After a long day, a long week, a lifetime of normalcy, you take a walk with only your thoughts for company. The moon lights your way in bright puddles. You hear a flutter, turn your head, and just above you, all wings and light and magic, there she is, the fairy you knew as a child. Her wings look like fire itself and your heart skips a beat. You were right. All these years, it's like they meant nothing. Because she never left your side. She always knew you would get back to her. Because in your heart, you are the dreamer.